Now, we all know that operating in the sensitive market of trade finance isn't an easy deal. It's an industry where scams and fraud occur daily, and so it's crucial to protect trades and provide guarantees that assure buyers of safer trades and easier cash flow. Hello and welcome to Focus On with myself, Tanya Habimano, and today we're speaking to Yield Group of Companies, a company that has received a AA ratings by 2 international agencies as low risk to work in the financial sector and for services provided to their clients. My guest today is Mr. Sanjeev Chadha, Group Chairman for Yield Group of Companies. So, Mr. Sanjeev, you started this company. Tell us more about it. How did it start? What does the company do? What are the business activities?
See, we had a very humble beginning in 2010, from a very humble beginning in India, a small town called Panchkula. And basically, we are into trade finance. That is our core business. Then we established in 2016 in Dubai, then London, Spain, Israel, Tanzania, Zambia, New Zealand, one more office in India, Bombay. Basically, our core business is trade finance. And we issue different kind of financial instruments like letter of credit, standby letter of credit, bank guarantees. And now we have ventured into many other fields like factoring, micro lending, and e-learning. So these are many products which we have added.
Indeed, and quite a number of activities that you have. So how is a Yield Group of Companies different from traditional banks? What would you say is the problem that you're solving?
See, in traditional bank, when you go to a traditional bank, they take a lot of time. They take almost 6 months to establish a credit limit. They need 100 to 200% collateral or cash margins. And after 6 months, they will say, sorry, we cannot do it. So we are very fast. Speed is like in a bullet. We are very competent. We are up to date to all. Our staff is very competent, and we are very different. Our USP is the speed, the competence, the knowledge, and we issue the instruments like we cater the need of a customer in a very efficient and in a very speedy manner.
You mentioned that traditional banks can be quite lengthy at times. Why do you think these banks are so strict when it comes to trade finance?
Maybe one of the reasons is the competence and the knowledge. They are not up to date to the standards. They are little lethargic, and their appetite of taking risk is very low. They take 200% collaterals, they take 30% margin, but the process is very lengthy. And after 6 months, they will say it's not doable. So they are very, very conservative, and the appetite is very low for when it comes to taking the risk.
Indeed, and one thing that does come to mind when we talk about the trade industry, trade finance industry, is the safety of it. And we hear of all the stories. Why is trade industry safe?
See, when the money comes into picture, the safety parameter is utmost important. So here a lot of money involvement is there. So safety of buyer, and see, the purpose of these financial instrument is the safety of both buyer and seller. So they act as a kind of an escrow for the safety of buyer and supplier. So safety is very important for both buyer and supplier. And there are a lot of kind of clown banks are there, and there are a lot of scams happen. So you have to maintain the utmost integrity and safety of your own customers.
So, Mr. Sanjeev, how do such scams exist in the industry, in your opinion?
See, the biggest thing is the Google knowledge. People go through Google knowledge and try to understand the trade finance industry, which is not true in the real practice. So we have a very strong, competent and credit risk team which go through the whole process. Before any deal comes, they go to the underlying transaction, understand the deal, and go through all the aspects of the transaction. So we have a very strong credit risk team. We have a very competent processing team, compliance teams, and we protect both the buyer and supplier in in every field, so that the safety of the transactions, safety of their money, safety of their products are ensured.
And perhaps you could give us more details. How exactly does Yield Group of Companies protect against such issues within the industry?
See, as I told you earlier, the competence of our staff, the compliance team, and whenever there is a transaction, we go through them. What is the underlying transaction? There is a set procedure and a process. The whole compliance and processing team go through it, make a customized transaction for them, and issue a proper financial instrument for them. So it protects both the buyer and the supplier, and the safety of product and their money in every aspect.
What does Yield Group of Companies of the future look like? Are there any new activities that you plan to do?
Yeah. We have recently ventured into factoring. We are paying on behalf of a buyer to a supplier. We have started e-learning. We have started two branches in Africa, Tanzania and Zambia. In Tanzania, we recently got the central bank license. We have started factoring. We have started micro lending. In Zambia also, because Africa is very important for us, and now we have started Yield for Learning. We'll be launching next month. We will be giving a training on whatever we are doing, like financial instruments, like factoring, like Incoterms. So we are starting and venturing a lot of things.
And that's what we like to hear, the story of companies that are growing but also looking to the continent, the African continent, for growth. And I have to ask you this question, Mr. Sanjeev, why Africa and why now?
See, when we started from India, then we ventured into Dubai. Dubai, as everyone knows, it's a land of opportunities. From Dubai, we landed into London, Spain, Israel. Then we ventured Zambia, 2020. Then 2022, we started in Tanzania. So 50 to 60% of our business comes from Africa continent. So Africa is a very, very important market for us.
Brilliant. And we really, really like to hear this. And in closing, I mean, when you're looking to the African continent, are there any other countries that you're interested in?
Yeah, our diversification and new products team, because like in Tanzania, we just established in 2022. We had established UOB Global Capital Finance Limited. It's a regulator license. We got a central bank license. And now we are venturing into Uganda. So we are planning this year or maybe the early next year, we want to acquire one of the banks in Uganda. Uganda is the next country which is in our earmark. We have earmarked, and we are acquiring a bank license there.
Quite some ambitious plans there. Where do you see the biggest opportunities? I mean, you mentioned a few services and products that you've been launching on the African continent, but where do you see, what do you see as being the most profitable and interesting for you?
See, at the moment, our bread and butter and the cash cow is trade finance. And what I see, micro lending and factoring will be very, very big products for us in near future. And e-learning we have just established, which will be launched in next month. That will be also training is very big indirect way of tool for marketing your own products. So we will be adding new products. The payment gateway is the another which will be launching by December or early next year. For the payment remittance, payment transfer. Yeah, we have tied up with a very big company in Zambia for lending. They have invested a lot of money in Tanzania. They are backed by the Google and MasterCard. And lending will be one of lending, factoring. They will be upcoming project, and they will be very profitable in the near future.
Do you foresee opportunities with regards to inter-Africa trading?
Trading is in our mind, but the profit margins are not much. So we don't want to go out of finance segment to trading. So that is not our cup of tea, but you never know what lies in the future.
Maybe in the future. Okay.
Yeah, but we will help them. We will help them with factoring. We will be their financial arm to the buyer, and it will have to improve their working capital. And it will be indirectly we are helping the trading companies.
And with regards to your clients that are operating outside of the continent, maybe dealing with your offices in India, in Dubai, in London, do you sense an interest for the African continent?
Yeah, see, we have clients from the globe. We have clients from Europe, we have clients from North America, we have clients from Middle East, Asia, Africa. So we have to cater the whole globe. So no doubt, as I told you, 50 to 60% of the revenue comes from Africa, but we have clients across the globe.
Okay. Brilliant. Well, Mr. Sanjeev, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to my guest, Sanjeev Chadha, Group Chairman of Yield Group of Companies. This was Focus On. Thank you for watching.